Welcome back to the Love on Top podcast, where we talk love, marriage, parenting, and everything in between. As always, I'm your host. Got my beautiful co-host with me, my wife, my better half. How you doing?
Good.
Doing good? We're
Yes.
on episode 8. First of all, let's say Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right? We got about
Happy Thanksgiving.
an hour left of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Good food, good company. I just had a overall good day, blessed day, really thankful and just happy to, get to spend time with everybody. And that was really the theme of today, I'd say, is just like time.
Yeah.
We talked about, never knowing when your time's going to be up, and it sounds depressing, but I just really enjoyed the company that we had and your company and the girls' company, and just really, really being able to kind of like relax and unwind and eat and not really worry about anything, play a couple of games.
Yeah, that's good. Any day that we can, have off of work and just spend time together is good. So
absolutely. And I'm just really thankful for that opportunity today and that time today. But thought we'd get an episode in. Had some time today, so let's talk about a couple of things. And today's topic is a little bit about marriage, which is kind of the theme, right? A couple of things that I've been seeing lately is parents who were talking about marriage, and they said they were talking to their kids, and they kind of like advised their kids to like never get married, and how like the older generation is advising kids and especially young men not to get married, and just kind of saying it's a trap and things like that. It just really didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Was the trend going on?
I guess it's a trend. It was just like a conversation that I came across. Didn't sit well with me at all, because I love being married. I especially love being married to you. And I just really wanted to kind of talk about it. And it's just, even with like, I think I was telling you before, like divorce, when I talk to people and they kind of say they're happily divorced.
Yeah.
And it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, because I don't think that like there's any time that I would really be happy to be divorced. I don't think I'd ever be happily divorced. I would never be happy to basically create a broken home for our kids, or to kind of like have our marriage fail.
Right.
And I understand everyone's situation is different, obviously, but it's just always been a weird term to hear someone say that they're happily divorced.
Well, I think that depends on how their marriage was.
It does.
If they're in a bad marriage, then I completely get being happily divorced.
I do, to a certain extent. I don't know. I don't know if I would ever be like happy. Like, I don't know if I'd be promoting like happily divorced. If you were in a bad
marriage, you probably would.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think I could be happy to be like divorced from that person specifically, but I don't think I would push not getting married. Like, I've had people who were divorced tell me like, oh, don't get married. If you're not married, don't do it. And I don't think I would ever push that. Like, I think it's like creating a union with someone is like one of the greatest blessings, I think. So like, I don't know if I would ever kind of like try to steer people away from getting married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Just a little bit about marriage specifically. Like, for me personally, like I said, I love being married. I love being married to you. And I strive to be the husband that my daughters would look at and say, I want to marry someone like that. You know what I mean? From the way that I treat you, the way that I talk to you, the way that they see me love you, the way that they see me take care of you. Like, I want our daughters to look at that and say, this is the type of man that I want to marry. And I would assume you would feel the same way about them seeing you and saying, this is the type of wife that I want to be, or this is the type of mother I want to be. So I just kind of wanted to, pick your brain a little bit about like divorce. Like, how do you feel about divorce? How do you feel like, when do you think you would like know the end is the end? Like, how would you feel about like getting divorced, especially like this late in age, 35? Not to say that it's super old, but like starting over.
Yeah.
The thought of like getting divorced and like that, I would feel like we failed, like our marriage failed. And not to say that it's like a bad thing always, but like for me specifically, I feel like I would have like failed at marriage, like something that I planned on doing once.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
I think Yeah, I think obviously I've never been in that situation, but I feel like that would be the natural feeling to have, like, oh, like you failed. I don't think anybody gets married with the intent of getting divorced or thinking that that's going to happen. So no, like that would be horrible. That would be devastating. I don't know. I feel like there's levels to it though. Like I don't feel like it's just something that you just wake up one day and decide. I feel like it's something that, like, there's levels to it. Like it's something that is like an ongoing thing.
Like it had to be like the steps to get to the divorce.
Yeah.
Like something had to happen.
Yeah.
And had to continue to happen continuously.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think it's just like you wake up one day surprised and now my spouse wants to get a divorce. You know, I feel like there's signs along the way. So for people who get to that point, you know, it takes two people to make a marriage work. So, and both of those people have to be willing to put in the work to make the marriage work. So,
Right.
I don't think that divorce is like a surprise to many people.
Understand. Yeah. No, I agree with that. And then I kind of look at it like when it comes to divorce, right? Even the people who are kind of like recommending to other people, like, oh, don't ever get married. Like it has to be like a whole nother level to that. Like, I don't think they just like, you know, this didn't work. They part ways and they're like promoting never to get married again. You know what I mean? There definitely is a level to it, obviously.
And these people were once married before, so.
Right. Which is why they're advising them not to get married, I guess, again, because it was so terrible for them. I don't know if it was always terrible for them. Hopefully not. Right. It just, I feel sorry for people who are in that place where they feel like they're not going to find another person, or that finding another person to marry would be such a horrible thing that it's like the old ball and chain, that it's like this terrible experience for them that they would advise other people not to do this again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to jail. Like you're telling people like, hey man, don't ever go to jail. And then they're doing this with marriage. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And a lot of women that were advising it is because they said that like they lose a sense of themselves, specifically like when it comes to their husbands. Like they feel like they're kind of like parenting their husbands. Mm-hmm. Another big thing was like their body, right? One woman had said that her body didn't feel like it was hers anymore. Like her husband would come up and he would like grab her butt or like touch her, and she didn't like it. And I'm like, how disgusted do you have to be with your spouse for that to be like a problem? But at the same time, I do kind of understand like being groped at whenever someone feels like it, it's probably a lot. But I would kind of think that you would be into that. Like there's got to be a couple of steps before you're like disgusted by the person that you're married, that you sleep next to.
And was the problem that she was disgusted specifically because he was touching her, or is she just a person who doesn't like to be touched? Because people are different.
I think it was the disgust in the fact that he felt like he could do it whenever he wanted.
Oh, okay.
That he felt like he could come up and just grab her without asking. And I don't know to the extent of what grabbing was, but I mean, I know how we are, you know what I mean? I may, you know, slap your butt on the way by, or, you know, come up behind you and like hold you. Okay, I definitely do 97% of the time. The other 3% will be depending on your mood.
And I was going to say 90% of the time I'm all for it. But there's, you know, that 10% of the time where I'm like, leave me alone. No, and rightfully so. And, you know, it just depends on the situation. But I do feel like it kind of made me think like, man, should I be asking my wife if she feels like being touched right now? And I was going to say like
permission to touch you.
I was going to say, but I feel like that could have been like a conversation, right? But I mean, we don't really know what their household was like, but
what the dynamic is and that.
Yeah. But I feel like that just sounds like, it's just, boundaries. So like, why couldn't a conversation be had?
Right. And maybe there was, you know, obviously like on the internet, you don't get a lot of context with certain things. Yeah. The other thing that, I thought about was like, we put so much time and energy into making sure like our marriage works and our relationship works, that therapy was like a big thing. And then not only for like our relationship, but for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I know you're still actively in therapy. I need to get back into therapy. And I know you put in like a lot of work and you're prideful of the work that you put in. So I just kind of wanted to pick your brain, if you're comfortable with it, about like how you think therapy has helped you in the marriage, and kind of what that change looked like for you.
I think therapy is amazing. I think everyone should be in therapy. I'm a big advocate of that with my family, my friends, my patients. I think that therapy used to have a bad stigma attached to it in the past, but now I feel like that stigma has kind of gotten away, where people are more open to it. I also think that people feel like if you are in therapy, that means like there's something wrong with you, and that's not the case. For me specifically, I wanted to be in therapy just to be a better wife, a better mother, a better person. I wanted to be in therapy to learn forgiveness, to be more patient, because those are probably the two things that I struggle the most with personally, forgiveness and patience. So yeah, I think therapy is a way for me to just talk things out with a non-biased person, and just being able to get like someone else's perspective on whatever the situation is. So,
And it's an unbiased perspective, right? Like it's a total stranger. They don't know me. They don't know you.
yeah.
And I want to say kudos to you, because like I see the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I recognize the change, and it definitely has benefited us. And it honestly, like, it has motivated me to like want to go to therapy. And I was in therapy for a certain period of time as well. But yeah, just kudos to you for putting in the work and being self-aware enough to know that, you needed to work on a couple of things. Cause I think that's like the biggest thing, is people don't have that self-awareness to really, to say, hey, like I could be better at this. It's always the other person.
Yeah. Well,
And
thank
it's
you. I
always,
appreciate it.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's always like, some people are like reciprocative, right? Like, well, I'm not going to change this until you change that. But you really took the initiative to say, I'm going to change this. And then like the ball is in your court to make those changes for you. But with therapy, also, I wanted to ask you, how important is it for you to find a therapist that looks like you or has a similar background to you? And then I'll tell you kind of my thought process on that too.
So this is my second therapist. My first therapist that I went to, she was an older white lady, and I loved her. We got along great. But looking for a therapist, that was kind of in the back of my mind. Like, should I be looking for a Black woman, And I spoke to like, just some of my friends who are in therapy, and like that was important for them. That was like one of their like main things, like, oh, they wanted them to be like a Black woman. And for me, I just didn't know if that was something that was like
how important that was.
Yeah. And I didn't want to like completely like, what's the word?
You didn't want to write someone off because they weren't.
They
didn't meet this box
right.
or check off.
Like I didn't want to completely write someone off just because they weren't Black, a Black woman. So I loved her. We got along great. And actually, I only stopped going to her just because my work schedule just didn't work with her work schedule. But my therapist now, she's actually a younger Black woman. So yeah. So it wasn't, to answer your question, it wasn't that important for me. I just want to get along with my person. With who they are. But I do 100% see how that is important to some people.
Yeah. And I asked you that because when I was in my search, right, a lot of the issues that I had was more so like, you know, with parenting, you know what I mean? Parents and things that went on in the past. Some of them were marriage related to, had to do with us. But my goal was to find someone that wasn't a Black woman, because a lot of my issues were with a Black woman, my parent, right? And then a lot of the perspective I was trying to gain was, was a Black woman. I'm married to a Black woman.
Yeah.
And I didn't want like some of my questions or some of my concerns to come off like they have the same mindset as you. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to like ask a question or have a gripe about, oh, she has an attitude when I do this. Like, am I wrong? What should I do to change? And they're kind of like, duh, like, of course you're wrong, because I just assumed that like
we all think alike.
You would have like a similar mindset. But that was also the other way too. I didn't really want a Black man at first because I thought he would also have the same mindset as me or a very similar mindset, especially like cultural, when we're talking about like marriage or, just different ideals like that. A lot of our culture has the same like kind of ideas and thoughts on things. So like, I didn't want someone that was also going to agree with me.
Yeah.
So it was a happy medium that I found a white man actually. And he was just kind of good for this situation. But like the first thing he asked me was like, how do you feel about having a white man as your therapist? And I was like, I brought that up. I'm like, actually, I just wanted a whole different perspective, a perspective of someone who didn't understand our culture. And that was like kind of how I made my decision. So that's why I asked you that. But I do see the importance of having someone that looks like you.
Yeah.
Just for representation, just for supporting them overall. And their whole idea of a therapist, obviously, is to have a non-biased like perspective. So all of that, I say that to say that all of that's kind of out the window. You know what I mean? So obviously, like I don't have a preference, but like if I were to choose someone, like obviously I'm going to choose someone that, looks like me, and I'm going to support them and give them an opportunity.
I don't think it's anything wrong to have a preference.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Well, with anything. Yeah. I think it's fine to have a preference. Yeah.
No, I agree. And then obviously like with therapy, that was helpful. But another thing that came up later on in life, and I think we were both on the same page with this at one point in time, was faith. Us like, what is the word? Like inviting God into our relationship, into our household, into our life. And even with that, like, I do want to say, thank you to, Mr. and Mrs. Chief, Meet the Chiefs podcast, because they actually opened our mind to praying more. I think that kind of started with them
yeah, definitely.
Like, just opening that door to us, because, they prayed all the time. When they came over, they were praying. Then we started praying. That brought our daughter is like the prayer police now, and she's making sure that we pray,
you can't take
for certain
a bite of food without her asking you
without
if you
saying
prayed.
grace. Right.
But no, I agree. I think growing up, we've never been too religious. Like we've always believed in God, always had a relationship with God, but we never, we didn't go to church a lot. It was just kind of like, Easter Sunday and just like,
days where you felt like you had to go to church. Just days of
but
church.
We 100% always had a relationship with God. You know what I mean? But we just weren't in the church like every single Sunday. We rarely went to church.
Yeah.
And we would say grace, but not like all the time. Again, it would just kind of be like Thanksgiving or like just
important days.
Yeah. So it's not something that was like foreign to me or us, but if it just wasn't something that we like practiced and did like every day.
Yeah.
Which I feel like now we've done that now.
Yeah.
Or we're doing that now.
See, and like for me growing up, it was a little bit different because we didn't go to church at all, really. Maybe once in a while we go Easter, maybe once in a while on like Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. But my relationship with God was more of like, hey, God, I need you right now. Come through for me on this because, I can't be sick right now, or, I need this to happen for me. But it wasn't a relationship like it is now, where now our relationship is, I'm giving thanks. I'm waking up in the morning, I'm thanking him. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for our children. I'm praying for our relationship. So it's a completely different dynamic now. So with that being said, like, we had a conversation where I know we were both talking about, like, we need to start reading the Bible. We need to really start inviting God and faith into our life more. And I think that was like perfect because we were on the same page. But with that, I just wanted to ask you, like, if I wasn't on the same page with you, do you think that would have changed the dynamic of our relationship? Because if you're on this path and I'm not on this path with you, do you think that changes things for us?
I don't know. I feel like it's a big chance that it could. I feel like when you have like two people who are married, who are one, and one is super religious.
And move your mic over for you.
When you have two people who come together as one, and one is super religious and their faith is super strong and heavy, and then you have one that isn't, I do feel like that might cause some conflict. So I think we're on the same level when it comes to our...
Because we're both at like intermediate. We're both like getting into it. We're not fully engulfed in it yet. One of us isn't further along in it. Like, going to church, and I'm not going to church and every day, or not every day, every week.
I think we need to be further into it as a couple. I started going to Bible study. So yeah, I don't know. I would like us to be more into it. But to answer your question, I do feel like it could possibly cause like a wedge.
There could be a rift if you want to go to church and then I'm not as open to it, or you want to pray, I'm not as open to it. Like, it can't really be like a one-way street. And I feel like that we've seen that in like different experiences, whether it be like, we watch Love is Blind a lot, right? And that's like, I think that came up in one of the conversations too, was like, one of them was really into faith, the other one didn't believe in God at all. I forget what the term is, but he just didn't believe in God, and that was like a deal breaker for her. Or even the views of the church that you go to, I think then become like a big deal too. Like, even like probably more so than politics. You could be married to a Democrat and be a Republican, but like one person not believing in God at all and the other person believing in God, I think that's like a deal breaker.
Yeah, I do.
Because you're just on two different different pages. And then like your kids will be on two different pages too. Like, how do we raise our children, and what type of values or things that do you instill in those kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal, but
I do feel like it's similar to politics, to be honest.
Very similar, but it might be a little bit more intense than politics. Cause like, with politics in a relationship, for me, it's a deal breaker. Like, if you're on the other side, I feel like you're on the other side of what's right versus, what's wrong. And I won't even say red or blue, but if you're on the other side, you're on the other side of what I believe. And I think, you're okay with certain things that affect me personally.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like faith, I do feel like it is kind of subject for interpretation, right? Like, you believe in God, but you may not believe as much as me, or you may not believe at all. But like, I think that also affects like your values on marriage too, a little bit. Like, do you believe in like when I took when we took our vows, I believe we took our vows before God. This is permanent. I'm, serious about this. And I believe everything, I believe everything that marriage stood for. But like, do I go into a marriage where someone doesn't believe those same things? Was like kind of my question. But we were on the same page at that point. But how do you think that inviting God into our life or into our marriage has affected, like, we'll say you specifically, not even our marriage, how do you think that's affected you or changed you or your views, if any?
I would say still in progress. I feel like I'm just at the cusp of diving deep into a deeper relationship with God.
And really
So
trying to
yeah. So I don't know if I can truly speak upon it yet, just because I feel like I just started.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I think I know I want to be more involved, both of us.
Yeah.
So that's something that we have to continue to work on. So
Absolutely. Excuse me. So for me with with our faith now, like I said, I just the changes that it's made for me, it's like I pray for you now. I pray for our children. I pray for us. And I think there's like a lot of power behind that.
Yeah.
Like just the power of prayer, just getting us through some of the hard times, and even just like giving us something to believe in, a higher power that's, kind of keeping us together, or somebody that also believes in us. And we don't have to get too deep into like, faith and prayer and everything like that. But I do think it was just a big step in our relationship, and us growing closer. Like we're growing closer to God, growing closer to each other. So I do think that was a big step for us. So, but yeah, that's really what I wanted to kind of touch base on. Again, marriage. I'm happy with our marriage. I'm happy with you. I'm proud of the work that you've done, and proud of the work that we've done together.
yeah.
But yeah, that's you have anything to add? Is there any other?
No, I don't have anything that I can think of. No wind down question today?
Wind down question. I didn't really think of this ahead of time. I got to get better with the wind down question.
It's okay.
So yeah, I do got one actually, because we talked about this before, right? For the wind down question. So I don't want to jinx myself, right? But how soon do you think is too soon to get married after your spouse passes away? You want me to give you some context? So I'm watching a new show, right? Well, it's not a new show, new to me, Homeland on Netflix, right? And these two army vets, Marines, they were captured, and they were said to have been killed in combat, right? 8 years had passed, and they come back, come to find out they weren't dead, right? Spoiler alert. But 6 years into into them being dead, one of the wives got married. The other one started having a relationship with her late husband's best friend. And everyone was like mad at them. They were mad at each other for one for sleeping with the best friend. The other one was mad because she felt that she had moved on too fast from her husband and got married. So they kind of thought each other betrayed each other. And my thing, I was like, man, 6 years is a long time to like.
Wait, the wife and the friend were mad at each other?
No, both wives were mad at each other for moving on. You know what I mean? And then the one wife was mad at the other wife because she got remarried, and she thought that her getting remarried was saying that her husband was surely dead, and that she didn't wait long enough. You know what I mean? And then, so my process was, how long do you think is long enough to wait after your spouse passes away to get remarried? Since we're on the topic of marriage.
I don't think that's a fair question.
You don't?
No. I feel like it's situational.
Because I feel like if I'm like the love of your life, right?
I mean, I'm not going to say like 6 months. Okay, 6 months is too soon. A year.
You think 6 years
is
too soon?
Too soon. 6 years?
Yeah.
No, I don't think 6 years is too soon. But again, I think that's situational, because I just feel like you can't answer that question because you don't know. It's situational. You don't know like when like another person's going to come into your life, and like,
So which leads me to another question.
You can't answer that question.
So that leads me to another question then. If I'm the love of your life, I'm your person, right? why do you think you would need to get like? Do you think you would need to get married again? Like finding another person, right? If I'm the love of your life, do you think you would ever find another person that would be the love of your life? Because you can't have two love of your lives, right? So, like, you don't think that like you should kind of just stop there, not get married? You could date, you know, for fun, but like getting married, committing to another person, you don't think that's a form of betrayal to the love of your life till death do us part?
No, because death did do you apart.
So now it's just fair game to get married again.
So if you're dating and you find someone else down the road that is like good for you and it turns out to be like a good relationship, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So you think it's appropriate to get married after the spouse has passed?
Yeah.
Just as long as there is an appropriate time given.
Well, yeah, and I can't even give what an appropriate timeline is. But to say like if your spouse passes away, you should never get married again, like that's not fair.
We'll have to check with the Bible on that because I don't know what the real what the real answer is.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense
to me. To me, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I don't think there should be another marriage in your future in the event that I, you know.
What about for you?
For me, no. There'll never be another.
You can't say that. You don't know that.
I don't know.
You don't know that.
I think you're the love of my life, so I don't think I would be in search for replacing you.
You don't have to be in search. It could find you.
That's true. But maybe I wouldn't let myself get married.
You don't know that.
So, okay, we were on the topic of divorces, right?
Uh-huh.
So you have my last name.
Yes.
If we were to get divorced, not going to happen. God forbid we were to get divorced. Do you think it's appropriate for you to keep my last name? Or do you think you should go back to your maiden name?
Should? I don't think it's like a should thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know how to answer that. I don't think I should go back to my maiden name. I don't know if it's something that like should be done. Like, oh, you shouldn't have the last name Harris anymore because you're not married. Because I feel like maybe I would feel like, oh, well, my daughters still have this last name.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that I would like. I don't think I should put up a fight. You know what I mean? If it's something where you're like, hey, I don't want you to have my last name no more. Like,
yeah,
I don't think I'd like put up a fight. Like, no, I'm not changing my last name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I just think about like, okay, so say we were divorced. You keep my last name.
Yeah.
And then I meet someone else. Yeah. And we do decide to get married. Like, if she takes out my last name, obviously there's no rule against her taking out my last name too.
Right.
But like at that point, now you also have our new last name. Yeah. So like, would that make you want to change it? Or do you think that you'd want to keep it? Because for me, like, I don't think I would have a problem with you keeping it because like that's your last name. And when we were together, you changed a part of yourself, a part of your identity. And that's our children's last name. Yeah. And most people are married for a very long time. So like if you're Harris for 20 years, I don't think that it would be appropriate for me to like fuss for you to change your last name just because we're no longer married.
Yeah.
You know, because that is now your name. This is your name. This is how your name has been for 20 plus years at this point. Mm-hmm. So like you making that commitment for me, you were doing that like for our family, for us. I don't think it would be appropriate to force you to change your last name at that point.
Yeah. I don't think it's like something like, oh, you should do, but I don't know. I think it would just have to be in conversation. Like, because at the end of the day, like it's a name, you know what I mean? You took on this name, you took on someone else's last name now that you're not married to that person. So I kind of also feel like, you know, if that marriage disappears, then maybe you shouldn't still have that last name. I don't know.
Because I look at situations like, so Shaq's ex-wife, Shawnee O'Neal, right? She kept O'Neal, I think up until she got married. Mm-hmm. But I think like in certain situations like that, a lot of people do keep those last names because there's benefits that comes with it.
Right.
There's a big benefit to coming with the last name O'Neal, the brand of, you know, being Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife at that point, right? But for us, obviously, there's really no benefit for you. But now that makes me think, if you were to get remarried, being that you kept the last name to have the same last name as our children, say you got remarried, our kids are still young, do you think it'd be appropriate for you to hyphenate your last name from your ex-married name to your new married name?
Probably not. It probably wouldn't be appropriate, but again, if that was something that was super important to me to have like the same last name as my children, then I feel like that would just have to be a conversation that I would have to have with my soon to be new husband. You know what I mean? And we would just have to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, all these are like scenario.
It's hypotheticals.
Hypothetical questions. So I feel like there's not like a straightforward answer.
It's just your opinion, what you would do right now, today. How you would feel about it today. That's all. It's not like nothing set in stone. So I'm not gonna hold this to you. I'm not gonna play it in court if something were to happen, saying that you would change your last name. But not just, again.
But it's not happening, so.
Nah, never gonna happen. Just a hypothetical. That's like for other people, so other people feel comfortable. But no, again, I just want to say I'm thankful for you. Grateful for the family that we have, for you,
Same.
our marriage, our kids, the home that we built, the space that we built. And I appreciate you. I appreciate, all of our extended family, all of the viewers, people that's been rocking with us. I know we haven't been as consistent as we need to be. We're going to try a little bit harder. I'm going to try a little bit harder and, hold each other accountable. But I love you.
I love you.
And
so grateful for you always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now that's going to do it for our episode. Please join us for episode 9. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment. Want to hear everybody's opinion and thoughts on it. But until next time, we'll be back with another episode.